Good evening and thank you very much for having me tonight. As Lynette mentioned, I'm one of the co-owners of Inlighten Photography along with my beautiful husband Dean. He's a very good man. And it is lovely. When you do come in and meet one of our photographers, you'll hear lots of really, really big words like aperture and lots of jargon like ISO. But let's be honest, when it comes to the big day, you can be standing out there with those last golden moments of sunshine coming through. But if you've got a double chin in the photo, it's a bad shot. So, what I wanted to talk to you tonight about was what you can do to make sure you look beautiful and amazing in all your photos. So, I've got 5 tips for you. Number 1 is to do an engagement shoot with your photographer. Now, not only do you have your hair and makeup trial on the same day so that you can see how the hair and the makeup looks in the photos, it's also a fantastic opportunity to really get to know your photographer, chat about who's important in your life, and then that way when they turn up on the day, it's almost like an old friend coming along and they know what photos to take that are going to be meaningful and beautiful to you. Number 2. Okay, now this is the big one. So, when you are posing for photos, standing front on is not flattering for anybody. This is the widest part of your body. So, when you are having photos taken, turn side on. And especially if you're in a group of people, hide behind them. It makes you look skinnier as well. All right, so turn side on, and then the temptation when you have a bouquet of flowers is to kind of hold them in, especially if you're a little bit nervous, like me right now, and then you'll kind of squash your arms into your body, and this makes your arm here look a bit fat. So, when you are standing side on, just hold your arm out a little bit and also have a glass of champagne. Now, not only does it look lovely in the photos, especially for the boys as well, because nothing looks uglier in photos than beer bottles, but also it helps you to know how to stand. As soon as you have a glass of champagne in your hand, it's just a more natural way of standing. And what's lovely about that too is you don't really want to be thinking about the posing. They're just a couple of little tips. Okay, so number 3 is to go with the photographer you love the most, not the one with the biggest package. And that is important. Yeah, that didn't sound right, did it? Yeah, no, I thought about that for a second then. Yeah. I mean, there's nothing wrong with a photographer with a big package. That's awesome in my mind. But go with the photographer that you love the most for photographical reasons. And the reason for that is, in this day and age, you are going to get the high-resolution files. So no matter what, even if it means that maybe your album isn't quite as large and things like that, the most important thing is to get beautiful photos in the first place. All right, now number 4, do your research. We are constantly uploading all of our latest weddings onto Facebook, and it's a great resource to have a look, see what other brides are doing, check out beautiful locations, and yeah, get ideas and inspiration. And finally, number 5. Now, this is one that I actually believe in quite strongly. Go with a photographer who uses Photoshop, not necessarily to change how you look, although I don't mind a little bit of retouching. Go with a photographer who uses Photoshop to help you work candidly and let your day flow. So if you can imagine that if you go down to the Opera House, or the Harbour Bridge rather, and you're standing underneath, and there's a Saturday, there's lots of tourists around, and so you've got the assistant, we tell your sister, assistant, can you move those people over there? And then we're just going to wait for the cars to come past, okay? And I'd like to do a really big panorama, but there's a pole in the way, so I'm going to come in a little bit closer, and by the time, we've moved the people, and yep, that last car's gone, and now act natural. It just kind of takes away from the moment. So what you are better off doing, and I'm going to see if I can get a little before and after coming up on the screen in a second, is to actually take the moment, let the moment just flow and happen, and then that way we can just take out those little little distractions later on, such as people in the background, cars, poles, things like that. And it really just lets your day flow. See, this is a lovely example here. So you've got the pole, we've got the people in the background, cars, and then we can just take those little distractions out in Photoshop and suddenly we're looking at the couple. And what's lovely about that is we're looking at their interactions, we're looking at the expressions on their faces and your genuine emotions on the day, rather than something that's not real. And it's just really nice to know that can be done. So it takes away just another little element of the stress. So, I've been in the bridal industry for about 11 years now, and it's lovely to hear it from me, but it's also really lovely to hear it from a bride and a groom who've gone through it all recently. So I wanted to bring on stage, hopefully someone or some people that you may recognise from the 2011 block. They were the winners of the series, and they actually had their wedding photographed right here at the Opera House. So could you please help me in welcoming Polly and Waz? Beautiful. Now, thank you very much for coming out and joining me, guys.
Thanks, Polly.
Now, after we finish chatting, we're going to have a look at a little video of some of the beautiful photos that you guys had here.
Stop your nonsense.
I'm not standing side up. Why?
Did you say what? Oh, wide. Sorry.
Yeah, we're really quick. All right. So, tell me, okay, renovating a whole house in, what was it, 6 weeks? Or your wedding? What was more stressful?
Polly. Across the lot.
Easily renovating a house. I'm sure, and a lot of you guys will, the reason that you said yes would be because you were sure of the person that you want to spend the rest of your life with. Don't renovate a house, definitely get married.
Beautiful answer, I like it. Now, tell me, what is your number one piece of advice for girls who are going through all of this at the moment?
It's very directed at Polly.
Yeah, well, you're next, Dal. Don't worry, I've got one for you too.
My most serious piece of advice, and you'll need to write it down. Get married 3 times. It is the best party of your life. It is absolutely amazing. There's so many tips and hints that I could give you, but really, once you write down everything that you want and then you get engaged, go to the bin and throw your scrapbook in the bin, because none of it matters. You know, you might be in a different season, so the flowers that you want don't work. Be open to ideas, talk to the professionals, and have fun. That's the main thing that I learned. You've got to enjoy it, because while you're engaged, there's very few people in the world that are engaged. When you're married, everyone's married, and it's done. And then people start asking you if you're pregnant, and you just think you're fat. So enjoy being engaged.
Oh, I love you guys. Now, that's awesome. Now, it's really important. The guys do want to feel like they're a part of the day.
We're a big part of the day, actually.
Apparently, yeah. Okay,
Believe it or not, we really are.
How do we involve you in the day more? What do we need to do to get you excited and involved in the day?
You've had your turn. You shush, yeah. We've been married 6 weeks. It's going well. It'd be great if we had a couch and some Tim Tams and a cup of tea to really nail this one out, because there's a lot of things to be said. Polly, actually, I'll admit that she did a pretty bloody and marvellous job for our wedding. I did catch her actually saying a few times, Warwick's really involved and he loves being a part of decision making. And I did, but she probably gave me a bit too much credit. Getting the gents involved, I think for you women, is to have a realistic time frame. So, figure out exactly what he does or what he doesn't want to do. So, for example, me, I really wanted a live band, so I know, Polly, you found that. But I was in charge of going to the pub and watching him and buying him a beer. And that was a good opportunity for me to actually meet the bloke, and I can't remember the person who said it earlier, but we connected, right? And so that's a really important thing, because they're the person that essentially makes the party what most people talk about at the end. Whether it's a DJ or a band, it doesn't matter. Like a car, for example. I knew that I wanted a certain amount of cars. So Polly gave me 18 months to get it organised. Perfect amount of time. Perfect amount of time. So if the boy does want to get involved, just make sure...
Plenty of time.
You just play with his emotions a little bit so he thinks he's doing it all really well.
Yep.
And no doubt, I haven't finished, no doubt that the woman tactically will then ask periodically every month for 18 months, how's the car going? Yeah, it's sweet. How's it going? Sweet, shut up, I don't want to talk to you anymore. So that's a lovely part of the entire process. But that's probably a good one. But I loved it. I really did. Rachel?
You let her go. I think the important thing with the groom was I gave him 2 options, so he thought he was making the decision. Yeah. So I'd go to the florist, and I'd been to the florist a week earlier, and then we went together. And he was a part of all the decisions, and he wanted his ugly yellow car, and it was all fabulous. And it did actually, on the wedding day, we had our photos.
The car did look good.
The car did look good. We had our pictures up near the Argyle, and I heard quite an angry groom turn to her bride and say, "That's the car I wanted, and you wouldn't let me have it."
Just so you know, it was a 1968 GTS Holden Monaro, so beautiful. And it's mine, so gents, if any of you need that car, come see me, I'll give you my number, we'll chat, we'll have a beer.
All right,
and we'll plan it for 18 months.
Okay. Now, we could stand up here and talk all night for hours about weddings and photography, so we're going to be back at the Enlighten stand, so if you do want to come up and say hi and have a chat any further, please come up and join us. And just to finish off, we're going to have a look at a few of the photos from Polly and Waz's wedding.
Yay!